I was hired at Vulcan Video November of 2014. I remember my first shift was the night before Thanksgiving. I worked with Brian Connolly. He was the one to train me at the South Store. Um, I was hired at the North Loop store at the time, but I was being trained down at the South Store. I remember our first shift together. Brian Connolly taught me so much in my time, in my 5.5 years at Vulcan. But I just remember that first shift we watched St. Jack, and then followed it up with Blood Freak. I feel like now Thanksgiving classic. But yeah, that was just like the first of many nights, the first of many memorable nights at Vulcan. Best job I ever had, without a doubt. I met one of my best buddies here, Luke. Luke, when did you start?
I started, let's see, I must have interviewed, yeah, in December of that same year. And
December.
I interviewed at the South location. Uh,
Let's talk.
uh,
Let's talk about the interview real quick.
yeah, let's do that. I went into the back room, the office, and they're like, wait, was that? Yeah, that must have been at the South location. And then there's like 3 chairs, and I sat across the three like folding chairs, and it was like Greg and Brian and Kristen, I believe, and
Greg, the
yeah,
North Store manager,
Greg in the
Brian and
North Star.
Kristen, South Store.
Yeah. Hey, love the clarification, bud. And yeah, they just asked me about movies, things like that, which I was a little self-conscious about because, like,
Mm-hmm.
there's the movies that are like cool, and then the movies you like. But great thing, I came into my own movie-wise. We're just, accepting what you like and being able to talk about it, even if it's not considered, high art or something. Do you know what I mean? How was your interview?
And I bring this up on like every subsequent job interview that I've had. Vulcan Video was probably the most difficult job interview I ever had, just
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like your taste. That's who you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you like, I feel like a lot of us define ourselves so much by the movies we watch.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty daunting going in front of these people and saying like, these are my favorite movies, because these are the tastemakers like of the Austin film scene. You could argue that these are among the few tastemakers here in town. And it was terrifying. Just them, they role play. They're like, hey, I like this movie, give me a recommendation.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I've never been so terrified in a job interview in my entire life. I will say though, like I got a call maybe a half hour after I left saying that I got it. It was
What?
Yeah, it was the best feeling. I think I can't. I've had some pretty cool jobs over the years. I don't think I've ever been as excited to get a job as I was at Vulcan Video.
So I don't think I got it initially, but I guess something happened and they offered me the job. Um, Sometime not that long after I interviewed. I think it was December. I think I might have interviewed November. Not positive. My memory's a little hazy, but I remember getting an email, I believe, and yeah, I was ecstatic. I just finished looking at AmeriCorps position and trying to figure things out. So I got hired on there, and then I got hired on at like a corporate insurance job, and I made sure in my interview with like the corporate insurance, like like specialist help desk type job, that like I wasn't gonna quit my Vulcan. I was like, well, I need to work around my Vulcan schedule. That's the only way I'll take this job. So that's how it be.
It is
Hmm.
the best job in the entire world.
Hmm.
You just get to talk movies all day.
Hmm.
You get to you get to work with cool people such as yourself, Luke. Luke and
Hey,
I
right back
worked.
at you.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Luke and I worked together for 2 or 3 years, every Monday and Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monday
that's
6 to
right.
12, Friday 6 to 2 a.m.
2 a.m. baby.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
um especially at the North Loop store, yeah, that 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. Part of the night, you wouldn't get a whole lot of people, but the people that did come in, you really appreciated because like
Yeah.
it always immediately went to the cult section.
So there are a lot of characters coming out to Vulcan between midnight and 2 a.m. Um, for the most part, real cool cats. A lot of them went to the cult or horror section. They knew what they were sort of getting into. They had a couple movies in mind. Some interesting people. I remember one guy worked at a erotic video
Oh
and
yeah, I forgot about that guy.
apparel. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Dreamers. Yeah, that guy was pretty cool. He was a really nice guy.
he was really nice.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. Yeah, no, I don't can't. Yeah, always positive. Really up despite getting off shift around that
He
time.
donated stuff to us a lot, which I think is also something we should bring up.
Hmm.
We got a good number of like donations just from very cool customers who were like, "Hey, I
Hmm.
noticed you didn't have this. You should probably have this on your shelf," and would like buy us a copy or like sometimes
Hmm.
like rip us a copy.
Yeah.
I do remember this one guy who would come in on my Wednesday shift quite a bit. Again, always went to the cult section. But one night we were talking about Rad, and I'd heard of it, but I'd never seen it before. And he's just like, "You have to watch Rad. You have to watch Rad." He came in, brought me a copy of the movie. I was like, "Hey man, I thought you should watch this. I know you said you didn't watch it. Let me know what you think, and then after you're done with it, just donate to the store. I think you guys should have a copy on the shelf." Which was the coolest thing ever. I missed that guy quite a bit. So I worked Wednesday nights. I always remember we had the VVFNS come in on Wednesday, which was a club formed by two members, Dean
Hmm.
and John. John also went by
Hmm.
Mojo. Um,
The real Mojo.
the real Mojo. VVFNS, the Vulcan Video Film Noir Society. Film noir, not noir,
Wow.
noir.
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
they would literally just hang out at the counter, drinking wine, sharing with us. And then, like, any customer that was willing to listen, they would just sit there and recommend them movies all night, mostly film noir movies. Um,
Hmm.
and we would also put on some film noir for them. But
Hmm.
it like which is actually weird. And uh, you know, timing of it was weird to me. Literally the day after I got the news about Vulcan closing, I ran into
Hmm.
Mojo John, member of the VVFNS, for the first time in maybe almost a year. But I ran into him at HEB, and he hadn't heard the news yet, and it was a great way for us to catch up and just kind of relive some old memories over the
Hmm.
last few years at Vulcan. It was yeah, there's something weird about it. I don't know if fate or whatever you believe, but it really helped me and kind of process all of my feelings about it and actually talking about it with a customer. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah, you actually texted me if I had gotten the news yet, and then you sent me the news
Yeah.
over um, well that you received by email, and that I think I was asleep, and then I woke up and I saw that, and I was like, what? And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up again. It was kind of surreal. I don't know if we had like our employee pick sections were always themed. It seemed like we always chose a theme. I remember your New Jersey section. You had the King of Marvin Gardens. I mean, it was a big one. I
King of Marvin
remember.
Gardens, Atlantic City, New
Oh.
Jersey. Big night.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember the city. I remember it's down the shore, New
Yeah,
Jersey. I had a DMX section for a while.
I remember that one. That one was
Belly,
pop.
Belly, Cradle to the Grave, and I think Exit Wounds because I remember
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think it was Exit Wounds.
Sorry. My favorite employee pick section wasn't mine. Nick Hester, I'd say the resident clown of North Loop store, set up his employee picks as Fargo, Argo,
Yeah.
Go, and O. Themed employee picks were always the best. I had an Elvis section for a little while. WC Fields. I did a WC Fields. I like to use employee picks as I usually used it as like a showcase for a star, either like underappreciated picks for that star or director, or maybe a director who wasn't even on the director's wall.
Yeah.
I think I utilized it more for that. I did try to do like themes here and there, like that New Jersey. I did a New Jersey section, but I think I try to usually like just really like showcase a star that I think deserved a little bit more recognition.
Yeah. I was trying to remember. All I remember is the mods about you. I was seeing someone who was reminded me that it's not Mads Mikkelsen, it's Mods Mikkelsen. So the Mads about you didn't really work, but still love that man. Still great.
That was a popular section just because people were I remember a lot of people were asking about Hannibal.
Oh yeah, people love that Hannibal. I mean, it's good.
It's in our Mods About You section.
Yeah. Oh, check it out. This guy's got taste. God, I was like trying to go through my memory. I mean, there's the Jackie Chan picture in the bathroom, the employee bathroom, that I just remember it seared into my brain. Every time you looked into the mirror, there he was staring at you. I mean, Greg, great manager of the North Loop, Brian Kristen.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I'll agree. I very much miss Greg Nance. He would always work like a 10 to 6 shift. I always worked 6 to midnight or 6 to 2 a.m. But I always loved going in the back, just chatting with him a little bit, kind of the crossover there. And remember, he would always watch Miami Vice. He always had Miami Vice on when I would go back there.
Not to mention Dean and Company. So Greg introduced us into Dean and Company, which were these holiday specials produced by this family in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
I believe. Yeah. Wealthy family would have these elaborate holiday segments they would put out every year, and like parodies of Toxic by Britney Spears. So like some sort of budget that you would imagine for a family creation. Greg would order those, and we had a whole stack. So whenever it was the holidays, we would throw that on, and just the most surreal stuff, but absolutely
it's
joyous.
Real lo-fi. Lots of just holiday covers, or like was Toxic. It was just a straight up cover, right? It wasn't like a holiday themed version.
Oh yeah. For a second in my mind, I was thinking, because they did do a lot of holiday stuff. I think it was a cover by. Was it the main, like the not the matriarch, but like the daughter? It was the daughter who became. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Wow, that was surreal, but amazing. I think one of my favorite things was helping people. They wanted recommendations, and just like walking them through sections and just like talking about what they liked, and helping maybe them choose things. And it was even like it was pretty great when they came back and said what they thought. I think most of the time it was positive, whether it was or wasn't positive, because they're being nice. But it was just nice to hear what they thought about things he selected, and the fact that they came back was a good sign. I think I really appreciated that opportunity, just to talk film, recommend something, see what they thought. Yeah.
Essentially, your license was your membership card. Like, we'd pull you up by your driver's license number. But it was always a treat getting someone who actually had an old school physical Vulcan card, the yellow cards with the written member number on it. It was always just a real treat just to kind of hold it. It felt like you were holding like a piece of history or something.
I worked South Store with Brian Cobbs, and then for a while it was Layla. Um, so I drive from just Lakeline area all the way down at 5 o'clock during rush hour just to get to work. Definitely took some shortcuts that other drivers might not have liked, but yeah, I would get there and yeah, I like the South Store on Elizabeth Street a lot. Lots of trading going on. A lot of good people that would come in. It was pretty interesting.
I will
A lot of
say, yeah, the classic idea of what it was like to work at a video store, you'll get like free pizza, came
yeah,
from the Elizabeth Street store. Because I remember we had a lot
yeah,
of trades set up, so we would trade free rentals for food. Like
yeah,
we had deals set up with pizza places, taco places, candy. I don't want to say which candy shop down on South Congress there. I don't know. But like they would come in and bring us bags and bags of candy and just like plop it down on the counter.
yeah.
That
It
was a
was a
great.
sweet deal.
Yeah, that's good. No, I guess I just want to thank the owners, any of the Vulcans, former Vulcans that I've worked with over the years, any customer that came in. It it really was the best job I've ever had. 5.5 years working there. It seems surreal that they're closed now. It's something I feel like I took for granted while I worked there. I just kind of thought
Yeah,
it would go on forever. Yeah, it's weird. I'm still kind of uh, processing it, I guess. But again, I want to send a big thank you to anyone I ever worked with there, the owners, customers. It really was a pleasure and like the best 5 years of my life.
yeah. Thank you to coworkers, bosses, Vulcan Video, um, people in general. Um, whether you're behind the counter or in front of it as a customer. People in the just in the Austin community who came by, even if it was just to talk, even if it was just to see if we had a movie in, but they weren't going to rent it then. To the people that worked at the Alamo and and AFS who would come in and just talk movies. Um, Friends I made, really great friends I made. Um, there's a lot. The fact that I have trouble to say it all almost says it all, because it's more than I'll have time to say in just a short video. Maybe more than, yeah, I'll ever really have time to properly put into words. Yeah, it was just a pretty key part of my time in Austin. Um, yeah, I just moved here, felt established, part of something. So yeah, yeah, thanks. So we had the North Loop store when that was closing. We had a little bit of a celebration of its life. We were there for the final night. And actually, a fellow Austin film community member, my friend Melina, brought some chains and chained herself up to the front door, demanding that we not leave. And a lot of fun, all in
Melina
good
was the
fun.
best.
She was great, yeah. Kind of a representative of um, our time in the Austin community. A lot of passion, a lot of friendship that made Vulcan so great.